Hello everyone, welcome to dance class. This is soul music. This is class number 3. We're learning how to read notes, how to read music. So this, what I have drawn on the board, is the grand staff. And it is the treble clef and the bass clef. And those are just fancy words that tell you what side of the piano you're playing on and where the notes are. But on this piano, there's 88 keys, so that's a lot. And instead of writing music and trying to show the players which of the 88 keys the writer wants them to play, they created this grand staff to help you read music on a page based on these lines and then the spaces in between the lines. Okay? So, treble and bass, fancy words that mean treble means the right side of the piano, bass means the left side of the piano. Alright, so starting on the right side, the first line here is E, the note E. And starting on the left side, technically the first line, you start from the bottom here, is G. Okay, so this treble clef and this bass clef, they meet in the middle here, and that note is C. And I'm going to draw a little note. And I'm going to put a line through it, because C is on a line. Now, this C in between the treble clef and the bass clef is nicknamed middle C, because it's in the middle of those two. So anything above middle C is treble clef, anything below middle C is bass clef. Okay? Now, as I said before, there's 88 keys on the piano, but here there's only 10 lines and then 8 spaces in between the lines. So what you want to do when you want to write a note that is not one of these here, then you draw, if it's a note that's on a line, you draw a little line through the note. Here's your note, you can draw a line through it. Instead of drawing a whole line and adding all these extra lines, that would be a lot of lines. So you just draw a little line through the note. Now if it's a note that's not on a line, that's on a space, then you can draw the note sitting on the line. But if it's a note that's like way up here, then you draw extra lines so that the readers know where you want to have the note. And then you can put it on the space if it's a space. But that's how you get to the notes above treble clef. Same thing down here. If you needed a note way down here, you just draw some lines so that you know what note you're playing on. Okay? Now that still doesn't get you to 88. Because when you're at middle C and you drop down to G, then you drop down all the way to here. If there's like 44 notes on this side, 44 on that side, it's not going to get you down there. So you can draw a note way down below, and then you can put 8 VB, 8 notes lower, and then it'll say 8 notes. It'll show you 8 notes lower that you want to play. Or 16. And then same thing for up here. If you wanted a note an octave higher than this, then you draw it here, and you can say 8 VA. Or 16 VA. So, this is the language on paper that translates to music on the notes. Okay? So, remember, this is important, the middle C here in between the two. This tells you where in the piano you want to play, which might be hard to see from the camera, but that's middle C right there, and it is roughly in the middle of the piano. Okay? But this C is this here. So if you wanted to play this C right here, it's above this, so you know to go above. Let's say you wanted to play this note right here, this A. Here's middle C, and you're dropping all the way down to this A. Well, here's the A right below middle C, so then this is another octave below. So this would be, if you're at middle C, here's the one below, and then it's the next one below. So this is how you can read notes and music and know what to play on the piano. Okay? So the notes are either written on the line or they're written on a space, like that. So line or space are the two ways that we define it. So if this is middle C and E is your first line, and this C is on a line and E is on a line, then the note in between them in the space is D. Okay, so that note is D. And then C is on a line and A is on a line, so the note in between them is B. And I'll draw it right here. Okay? And then everything else is self-explanatory. When you look at the grand staff, and then you can compare it to the piano, and you can find where you are on the piano. So, if you see a chord of notes maybe like this, it uses C, and then it uses A, and it uses F, and there's a line going through them, meaning play all three at the same time, then you can know you're going to play this C, this A, and this F. Just because it says it right there and where it's positioned on your grand staff. Okay, that's all for today. So, there'll be more to come. Thanks for tuning in.